sticking with the propositions. Proposition 20, the removal of the elected representatives from processing the establishing congressional districts. What is your position on that?
That's the congressional redistricting legislation that says congressional districts will not be included in the Citizens Committee that we've created for redistricting. I don't support it. The Citizens Committee that we've created is way over budget. It's cost more than 3 times as much as it was promised to the voters that it would cost. I would wonder if any one of you could possibly even name a single person that's going to be serving on that commission. I know I can't, even though I've looked at the list. It's being administered by an unknown, unaccountable, unelected bureaucrat in the state capitol. So when you worry about bureaucracy getting out of control and being unaccountable, that's Exhibit A. None of us is even going to know what is going to come out of this, who has influenced it, how the decision was made, and yet it's going to determine our representation in Congress and our representation in the state legislature. If you want to not have any control over that, the best way to do it is to put it in the hands of nameless, faceless bureaucrats, and that's exactly what happened, and that's why I oppose this proposition.
Thank you.
You know, this proposition is like so many other propositions. They're born out of frustration. People want to have an effect over the people they send to both Sacramento and to Washington. They want to know that these people will be held accountable to them. This legislation is more of the same. They want to do something to correct a problem that we have in the state of California. Might be imperfect, might not be perfect. It might be these faceless citizens out there who are drawing the lines. But you can have those faceless citizens drawing those lines, or you can have paid-for politicians drawing those lines. And of the two, if you give me an option against the faceless people and those paid-for politicians, I'll take those faceless people because they look like you guys out there.
Thank you. The last question will be part of your closing statement, and you get 5 minutes on it. We'll start with you, Mr. Wiesner. Why are you seeking office, state senator, and why should the voters in this district vote for you?
I'm certified by the state of California as a certified public accountant. And I point my index finger to a lot of people, and I say, you know what that means? I can balance a checkbook. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, that's the greatest need in the state of California. Somebody who can balance a checkbook. And I can tell you, I can guarantee you, that if you continue to send the same politicians back to Sacramento, who can't balance the budget, who can't balance the checkbook, we're going to have the same failed state government that we have right now. So it's up to you. This is your election. You're going to have to choose between failure and prospects for possibilities. I would choose, if I were you, the prospects of a possibility over known failure. And that's it. In a nutshell, that's it. Now, we've heard a lot about jobs, and I know the chamber, and I've done some study in jobs in the chamber. The chamber every year lists job-killing bills, and I've looked back starting in January 2008 until May of 2010, and where she had the possibility to vote for those job-killing bills, my worthy opponent has chosen to vote for every one of those job-killing bills that she had at her chamber or in committee. So she's got a 100% record of killing jobs in the state of California. And over that same time, our unemployment rate has risen from 5.9% to 12.4%. So there's an absolute correlation there, ladies and gentlemen. 100% vote to kill jobs, and 100% increase in unemployment. And that's a bad prescription for the state of California. And that's another justification to send a reasonable individual to Sacramento. And I appreciate your attendance here today, and I look forward to your vote. Because I believe in, get real, you guys.
Thank you. Someone else?
Thank you. And again, thank you very much to the Chamber for hosting this event. It's been a very interesting event, and I think it's really good for voters to be able to see us face to face and to talk to us and hear what our answers are. You've heard a lot of differences, I think, between the two candidates. There's a couple of other ones that I wanted to point out. First of all, on AB 32, which I talked about, that is the number one growing part of our economy is in green technology development. That's number one. And in fact, when the rest of our economy is doing poorly, jobs are actually growing in that sector. So it's really important that we stay the course. We continue to try to get California off fossil fuels. We continue to try to develop clean energy for our state and clean energy sustainable jobs. Very important. I oppose Prop 23, which seeks to overturn AB 32. My opponent supports Prop 23. Prop 23, by the way, is being almost single-handedly funded by 2 Texas oil companies and out-of-state money. I mean, it's out-of-state oil companies that are some of the biggest polluters in the world coming here telling California, no, we can't let you have green jobs and green technology. The second thing that truly divides us, other than what you've heard about here, is offshore oil drilling off the coastline of this great state of California. Now, I'm old enough to remember the oil spill in Santa Barbara. I would venture to say a lot of you here remember it as well. Last year, the governor, in order to try to balance the budget, or actually using an excuse to try to balance the budget, tried to reopen the state of California coastline back to offshore oil drilling. And I defeated that. Along with Pedro Nava from Santa Barbara, the two of us joined forces with others, and we defeated it. And we are going to have to fight that battle again. It will be a continuous battle. I oppose offshore oil drilling on our coast. Mr. Wiesner supports it. So there's a couple of other things you can take into consideration. Drill, baby, drill. Exactly. And look what happened in the Gulf of Mexico. And as I said, the state Senate district includes a third of the California coastline, so it's going to be a very, very important issue for whoever is the senator going forward. And then the last thing I want to say is thank you very much for the last 6 years. It's been a huge honor and a huge privilege to represent all of you, regardless of your political opinions. It truly has been. And I've served in government at all levels, from planning commissioner in the city of Santa Rosa, city council for 8 years in the city of Santa Rosa, now 6 years in the state assembly, and I hope for another 4 years in the state senate. And all I can tell you is it's difficult, it's challenging, it's frustrating, but it's been a huge honor. And it's been my honor to be able to help people in Vallejo. Even though our statewide unemployment rate is 12.6%, Vallejo's is lower. Believe it or not, Vallejo's is lower. There's no businesses, there's plenty of businesses, and I think we need to support those that are here and try to encourage more of them to come to Vallejo. The Vallejo waterfront is really developing beautifully, and their state money was involved in that. And the ferry terminal, the transit terminal is also coming along nicely, and there's state money involved in that as well. And I've been working with the city of Vallejo, the residents of Vallejo, the county of Solano, to try to make life better here, to try to address the issues that are confronting our school district as it works its way through bankruptcy, to try to address the issues that are confronting the city of Vallejo as it works its way through bankruptcy, to try to represent the interests of one of the most culturally diverse communities in the state. It has not been easy, but it's been a privilege, and I ask you to send me back to the state capitol for another 4 years as your state senator.
Thank you both very much for coming. We really appreciate it. We're going to start at the next one for the 7th District Assembly at 10:30.